Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I'm an artist. That's Egum. He's an artist. A treat artist. We just got a bag of treats. That's all. That's all for Egum. All right, let's go draw some stuff, okay? All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to AC Draw Stuff. I am AC, Adam Crone. Thanks for stopping by my channel and spending some time with me. So what am I doing today? This is my new original character that I created named Poohbear. It's one word, P-O-O-H-B-E-A-R. And it's kind of an homage to a bunch of 80s stuff that I loved as a kid, 80s and 90s stuff. And so I created, here I'm doing the pencils. He's about 3 heads tall. And just using my mechanical pencil. And so I created the prototype for this past week when I was substitute teaching for kindergarten. It was either kindergarten or first grade. I think it might have been first grade. And actually, no, it was kindergarten. Yes. So anyway, you know, one thing you do a lot of in these classes with the young kids is draw. They love drawing. And whenever they do, I do. And I usually draw Moojigoom, you know, Mooj, Egum, Mother Fluffer, something I'll include in my book that I'm making. But on this day, I just felt a little more, I don't know what, like nostalgic, and I wanted to create a new character. The kids were being silly, so I thought, I'm going to create this character with poop on his tummy, the poop insignia. And I don't know about you all, but when I was in school as a kid in the 80s and 90s, poo talk and farts and stuff like that was fun. It was funny. It wasn't as taboo. You know, we didn't. It was silly. Kids today, I'm so surprised at how taboo it is. I don't know if it's uptight parents or what, but they weren't like uncomfortable, but they were like, "Why is that poo on him?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, "Why not?" And it was just so, they were so confused by it. I finally got them laughing. I finally got them laughing about it as the day went on. But it was very surprising. Not that they don't have fun. Those kids, we always have a ton of fun in those classes. So yeah, here I am with my Micron Pigma ink, and I believe this is a number 3 that I'm going over the pencils with. And that is definitely a poop on his stomach and some flies. You know, have fun with it. And I love creating original characters, so... So here is me and Egum, our little break here. Mooj loved going for bike rides, and she loved the backpack. And I'm so lucky and happy that Egum loves it just as much. We had a beautiful day the other day, and we rode up and down the bike path on the lake with the city in the background. And it was a ton of fun. It was our first ride of the year. So with the eyes and nose, I always use my black 100 Copic sketch marker, and now I'm tightening it, and I always tighten those up with my Pigma inks. Here I'm using my 35, I believe it is, brown. It's a great shade of brown, Copic sketch marker. One thing you want to be careful, or at least conscious of when you're using these, I love these things, but treat them like watercolor, because they tend to bleed outside of the line if you get too close, which you'll see it does on the poo, on his tummy, with the dark brown that I use, but you can always clean it up with a gel pen or a colored pencil, which is what I'd end up doing. And I'm just kind of going over, filling in and coloring it up. And as I was doing this, I was kind of making it up as I go along as far as his color scheme, because when I did the prototype last week in class, it was a very loose sketch, and I posted that on my Patreon for my patrons to see as an introduction to the character. And then I thought I'd do an official version here for YouTube. And I'm blending a couple different browns there. And you can see that on the left side of the poop that I went over the line, but I'll clean that up, clean up the poop. And then I also, the other day, this is a Faber-Castell brown pencil. I bought a pack of like 12, I think it was, for like $10, and then I had a $5 voucher. Thought I'd give them a try, and it's like a different shade of brown, and I love adding textures between different mediums on one picture: marker, inks, colored pencils. Use it all. Use cutout paper and paste it on. Don't be afraid to do anything, mixing watercolor, all that stuff. One thing you want to be conscious of, and then I'm doing some shading with my Tombow grayscale pens. Markers don't go well over crayons, obviously, or colored pencil. So make sure you do all that stuff last. Get everything else set the way you want it. And then I'm going around tightening this up, and usually I put a hard, smooth, thick black line around my characters to define them out from the background and their lines. But on this one, I wanted to use my number 1 Pigma ink here and Micron, because I wanted to go around and give it a little bit more texture. He's kind of a teddy bear, so I'm doing a really loose, scraggly line all the way around it, which you'll be able to see a little bit better when I finish it up. And I'll end up posting pictures of this close-ups on my Instagram, AC Draw Stuff. But I wanted, little wisps of hair and not so well defined like I would on my 3D Glasses series stuff, or even like when I draw Egoom, it's always like a hard, smooth line. This one's more loose, scraggly, gives it texture, character, more personality to Poohbear. And since he's an original character, I just wanted him to have as much personality as possible. Experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. You can always draw it again or fix stuff. And then highlights with the gel pen there on the eyes and the nose. Give it a little pop. And then here's Fluff. Mother Fluffer. I gave her some catnip. She went nuts on this bird. I actually installed that bird. It's like a customization on her tower there. She loves that thing. She goes nuts. A little shadow here. Now I'm coming in with my gel pens, my white, and I'm kind of just using them as white out to tighten things up. Hit the left edge of that poo. Give it a little highlight, a little glint so it looks shiny. You can also, I use it to like any stray marks that I didn't want. You can white those out. And I'm just tightening the whole thing up. There I'm using my Prismacolor white pencil. I highly recommend getting some of those. You can get a pack of like 5 of them for $4. It's great. And I'm actually doing the highlights here, the light effect. And I've really enjoyed using my pencil for that, whereas in the past I used my gel pen. And I like using that too for certain things, similar to this, but I'm really enjoying the texture that this pencil is giving Poohbear. And since he's an original character, I want him to have as much personality as possible. And then I sign it. But then after I sign it, I decided I want some grass and some of my trademark clouds. Bob Ross would be shaking a brush at me. He always signs his at the end. But I always think of stuff. I'm like, oh, let me add this. It just looked a little drab. So here's my trademark cloud with the blue and the purple. 80s colors that I love. Very Miami Vice. Even though nothing in this picture is Miami Vice. But when I watercolor, I always do a blue-purple sky. And here, when I don't watercolor, I always do like a blue and purple cloud set or something, just to add a little character to the picture. And that's pretty much it. There's another Faber-Castell neon pink. Those are really good pencils. I like those. I mean, that's not news. So there's Poohbear. Introduced, new character, original character. Hope you guys like him. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and look for Poohbear in the future, my future stories. And if you want to support the channel directly, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Adam Crone. Ask me for a commission or check out my shop. All those links are below. I'll see you next time. Sit, Muji, sit. Good dog.